Welcome to the world of Liao Zai. Last time I asked you who the White Lotus sect were. Well, they were an ancient secret society and religious cult with a mix of Buddhist, Taoist, and other folk beliefs. They were often involved in popular uprisings against government rule and practiced magic to attract adherents. The period in which Pu Songling was writing was a time of great social upheaval. The Qing dynasty had just been established by invaders from the north, and rebellion frequently broke out against these new Manchu masters. The first account I'm going to read to you today is set in the turbulence of one such rebellion. Yu Qi was a native of Shandong, the province where Pu Songling lived, and he led a peasant uprising against the Qing regime. Unfortunately, his army was crushed, and the Qing troops massacred many local people. Yu Qi himself is said to have fled and become a monk, and created the mantis fist style of kung fu. Let's have a look at this brief account now, which is called Ye Go, or Wild Dog. During the Yu Qi rebellion, people fell like flies. A villager, Li Hualong, fled home from the mountains. The government troops happened to advance that night, and he was terrified of being caught in the wholesale slaughter. In his desperation, he had no place to hide except to lie stiff among a pile of dead bodies and pretend to be a corpse. The soldiers had already gone past, but he didn't dare come out too soon. Suddenly, he saw the headless, mutilated corpses stand up in lines. One of the corpses, its severed head still attached to its shoulders, began to speak, saying, "The wild dog's coming. What now?" All the corpses, tall and short, echoed, "What now?" A moment later, they all fell down. Then there was silence. Legs trembling, Li was about to stand up when a creature with a beast's head and a man's body appeared, bent over and bit into the skulls, sucking the brains out one by one. Li hid his head beneath the corpses in dread. The creature came over and tugged at Li's shoulder, trying to get at his head. Li held himself to the ground to keep it out of reach. So the creature pushed aside the pile of corpses covering him, revealing his head. Terrified, Li felt around on the ground underneath him, found a stone as big as a basin, and grabbed it. When the creature bent down to bite him, Li leapt up with a yell and struck its head, hitting the mouth. The creature screeched like an owl, covered its mouth in agony, and fled, spitting blood along the way. Checking at once, Li found 2 fangs among the blood, curved from the middle and sharp at the ends, more than 4 inches long. He carried them back to show to people, but nobody could say what kind of creature it was. The strange animal described here sucks out brains like a wild dog would, but it has a human body. Odd. We can find a number of such accounts of unknown creatures in Liaozai. Let me read you another account called Hei Shou, or Black Beast, which is set in Shenyang, in the far northeast of China. A certain gentleman in Shenyang held a banquet on a hilltop. Looking down at the hill foot, he saw a tiger carrying something in its mouth, using its claws to dig a hole in the ground, burying the object and leaving. He sent men to search the burial spot, and they found a dead deer. So they took the deer and covered over the hole again. Soon the tiger led a black beast there that had fur several inches long. The tiger ran in front, as if inviting an honored guest. When they reached the hole, the beast squatted down to wait, glaring menacingly. The tiger searched the hole, but the deer was gone. Trembling, the tiger lay flat, not daring to move a muscle. Furious at this deception, the beast smote the tiger's forehead with its claws, and the tiger died on the spot. Then the beast left directly. Pu Songling then adds his own comment at the end of this short report, saying, I don't know what the beast is called, but asking its size, it was no bigger than the tiger. So why was the tiger so terrified of it that it meekly accepted death? All things seem to have their master, often quite inexplicably. For example, macaques fear golden monkeys most of all. When they see some in the distance, they'll gather in their tens or hundreds, kneel down in a circle, and none dare escape. With glazed eyes and barely breathing, they wait for the golden monkeys to come, which then use their paws to feel if the macaques are fat or lean. The plump ones will have a stone put on their heads as a marker. The petrified macaques crouch there, motionless, terrified in case the stone should drop. When the golden monkeys have finished their deliberations, then, one by one, they eat those marked with stones, after which the rest disperse with a din. I have often observed that corrupt officials are like the golden monkeys, judging whether the people are fat or lean, and marking them, then gobbling them up, and the people just bow their heads and wait to be eaten, not daring to breathe. This foolish behavior is very similar. What a pity. What this account says about golden monkeys might not be true, but it's a good example of how Pu Songling took reports of the strange and supernatural and used them to point out real problems in society, such as corruption of officials. Today, we've looked at two accounts of animals unknown to science. Scotland has a famous unknown creature of its own, called the Loch Ness Monster, or Nessie. But did you know the northeast of China also has a famous lake monster? Next time, I'll see what you can tell me about it. Until then, take care, and don't let any weird creatures suck your brains out.